Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. It's Friday afternoon. It's heading into a weekend, and of course, I'm Tony Curl from Think and Grow Business and also Coach Curl. I just wanted to jump on really quickly this afternoon just to share some positive news and once again, just talk about the free mastermind series that I've got each and every week while this crisis is going on. So this is, we completed the first group of the Leading Through Crisis Mastermind today. They're a fantastic group. They joined in on Tuesday, and we had 4 one-hour sessions, one session every day for the remainder of the week. They took so much away from it. And they were so keen that some of them have signed up into our next mastermind series, which is called Turning Adversity into Advantage. So I'd really love you to have a think about what that could potentially look like for you. There is a comment, the link is in the comments for you to register your interest. It costs you absolutely nothing to register your interest. And for the first 4 series mastermind, the price is absolutely nothing. It's a 4-dayer. It's all over and done with in a week. And you pick up some valuable skills and thought processes to help you as a leader or a business owner work through this particular crisis. Today's been quite a busy day. 2 mentoring sessions, fantastic. One right here in Brisbane, working with one of our local businesses. And the other one was a brand new person making use of some of my skill set today from over in New Zealand, working for a large national-based non-for-profit. Really excited to speak with Ross, and it was a really good, intense, riveting discussion over 60 minutes. So I'm really feeling like I'm heading into the weekend with some real momentum, and I know that many of you are as well. Many of you are really stepping up, looking for those opportunities within your business and really trying to make a difference to to your own business or to your own leadership as we work through this crisis scenario. Now, I do want you to think about a couple of things. I've titled this live, I've forgotten what I've titled the live. Sorry, I titled this live all about agendas are amplified. And I do want to talk about that, but I'm not going to do it today because I've gone off track after the discussion that I had with Ross, because he was, we were working through some of the stuff within his team of what he can be doing to help continue to get momentum. So I want to talk about another concept today. It's about distraction or traction. So with so much that's happening around us at the moment, and there's so much stuff that is firmly outside of our control, one of the really key messages is that, we know that there's all this stuff that's happening that's outside of our control. And while we're not going to sit there and ignore that we're in this crisis, that we're in this pandemic, I do want you to be thinking about what is within my control and where am I going to put my focus or my attention into. And so this is where the concept of distraction or traction takes place. Because if we allow ourselves to get distracted by everything that's going on around us, by the fears, the conspiracy theories, the anxiety, because we see it all everywhere. If we allow ourselves to be distracted by that, we're going to come out of this crisis in a worse shape than what we potentially could be. If we focus in on our own business, if we focus in on some really simple concepts around our own leadership, we have the ability to gain traction during this time. And I know that that might sound a really foreign sort of a concept to what you're going through at the moment, but the potential is there for us to gain traction. So we're either going to be distracted or we're going to gain some traction. And I think when we start to break that down, we really look at it from a relatively simple process. So there should be a reflection process that we're working through, whether it's about ourselves, our careers, our business. We should be thinking about those things that are working so that we can multiply and gain some strength from our strengths. But we can also be looking at those things that aren't working. So where aren't I happy in my business? And should I just be cutting off those dead branches? If that's a metaphor that you can use. So focus in on our strengths, cut away the dead branches. So a bit of reflection. Maybe it's time for a reset. So reflect, reset. Internally, personally, professionally, business. What does that look like for you? What does that reset look like for you? We then want to go through a refresh process. Freshen ourselves up and get ready, because we are coming into recovery. And we will come into recovery. We will get through this. This too shall pass. If you go through history, we've been through crises before. And you've been through your own personal crises. Is there a plural crises? I'm not sure. But we've all been through that, and we're still standing. We've got through it, just like we will get through this. But if we're thinking about reflect, reset, refresh, and recover, I think we're going to come out of this in a better shape than what potentially we would if we didn't have that as front of mind, as front of focus. And this is some of the stuff that we work through and that we deal with through our mastermind group. As I said, mastermind contact is in the comments for you to register some interest. So I want you to also, just the final thing that I want to talk about, and this is going to sound incredibly foreign to some people right now. What is something positive that you want to be able to think back and reflect on when you've come through this? What is something positive that you want to be able to reflect on when you've come through this? And it's a really important thing to think about, because while the world and the shit that's happening all around us is all part of what's going on around us at the moment, what is it that I want to remember about the COVID-19 crisis of 2020? What is it that I want to remember? Was it the time that I became stronger? Was it the time that I became braver? Was it the time I became wiser because I started listening to trusted sources and not going down the rabbit hole that some conspiracy theorists are going on at the moment? Was it the time that I was able to add that additional income into my business? Was it a time that I led my team better, stronger? What was it? What is it that you want to remember this in a positive sense? And then, you know, what does that look like? What does your team look like when we come through this? Who are the people in your room? Who are the people in your inner circle? So what does all this look like when we come through this? Really important for us to start thinking about that. Now, as I've said, the link to register for next week's mastermind starting on Tuesday. I haven't set a time yet. I'm going to leave that up to the group to try and get the best consensus that I can. All you're doing is registering interest. The link is in the comments. I'd love to have you on board. As I said, we had a team of 6 go through this week, and they are stoked. They are stoked. They've got new skills. They've got a new awareness. They've got some new thought processes, and it's all going to help them deal with this particular crisis right now and how they lead through it. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic weekend. I look forward to catching up with you all once again when we kick off another week in this COVID-19 crisis next week. And I hope to see you at my mastermind group starting on Tuesday. Talk soon.